Best video ever right now. We're hitting record. I got this VIP. I got this executive over here. AP, he put the freaking glasses on. The glasses are on. This guy's got meetings to go. He's got to go fly around the world one way and then the other way in less than 24 hours. So he's like, I got to go. We're going to knock it out. AP Gains, one of the greatest free-to-play accounts out there. Debatable if it's greater than mine. That's for the philosophers to debate in the next upcoming generations. But today we're getting together after doing a video on his channel. A link down below to his channel that we did together over there for a video. We have this big question people have been asking, and it's kind of important. We're waiting on the next big thing, Darth Revan's Leviathan, which do you think it makes sense that it's Revan? I mean, it does, but I feel like most were expecting Malik, right? Was that your expectation for this guy?
I mean, as a person who could not get off of the first world in KOTOR, I honestly don't know who pilots the ship. The extent of my knowledge is that Keanu Reeves should play Revan, and that's my stance on Malik versus Revan.
Yeah, well, the video game appearance, Malik had the Leviathan, but technically I think it was Revan's before. So anyways, I think they did it because more people have Relic 9 Maliks over Relic 9 Darth Revan. So that's my reasoning behind it. I digress. While we're waiting for the Leviathan, people have been asked this question. We talked a little bit about it in your video. I want to go a bit more in depth. What's the most important thing to farm right now? Should you be maybe getting your Sith Empire up and right, even though we don't have all the requirements quite laid out, but there are some key things that you can probably do, like get your Darth Revan up a little bit more and stuff like that, that kind of seem logical? Or should people be maybe focusing on the here and now rather than the future and focusing on the HUD cartel? The Crate Dragon raid finally came out. A lot of ups and downs going on with it, and I think we're kind of at a place where the rewards are starting to settle and Relicate's back on the menu. And Jabba's going to be kind of the big function of how much Relegate your guild's going to end up getting. So Leviathan, Jabba, I don't know. Bestow your wisdom upon us. Let's see what you got for us. Go. I'm going to outnumber you, by the way. Don't get pressured.
I'm gonna oh, yeah. 2 Arnolds to 1 AP gains is a little unfair, but my personal opinion is Leviathan is going to be way more valuable because for most people in that 4 to 5 to 6 to maybe even 7 million GP range, ships are something that people struggle with, and you're going to be able to win way more GACs with Leviathan than you can with Jabba. I had the hot take of all hot takes like a week ago. I don't know if you saw. The video was like, don't farm Jabba or something like that. And the point I tried to make is that I didn't think that an individual Jabba farm for the purposes of getting more rewards in the raid was a good idea. 24 hours later, of course, CG completely nerfs personal raid rewards, so AP Gains is once again the oracle of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But people just took that don't ever farm Jabba because Jabba sucks and AP Gains hates fat people. Like, that's the narrative that they ran with. And I think Jabba is the best team in the game right now, obviously, and I think Leviathan is just better than Jabba. Like, I can't really argue that Jabba is going to be more impactful than a team that will win you Grand Arenas, full stop, for years to come.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm expecting this Leviathan is going to be an uphill struggle. I think though Profundity and Executor should still be able to beat it. I think it's going to have that slight edge where you're going to definitely have to work. It's not maybe like a hit full auto and you just roll with it type of thing. My thing is, it's one of those things, I don't know the Leviathan requirements. I always get a little hesitant telling people, hey, start Relic 9ing all these stuff. It could be the case. I think the biggest indicator is if you should be focusing on this Leviathan is, are you 4 million GP? That's number one. Do you have Malgus? How close you are to Malgus? And more importantly, how are you looking on the Fury class interceptor? Because this is a 2-gated type of thing for Leviathan. Our first 2-gated conquest unit. Before it was just Razor Crest. It was kind of like a 1-gate type of thing. Now it's kind of 2 levels of gates going on this Leviathan. If you're nowhere near a Fury class interceptor, because just to get Malgus from scratch in Proving Grounds, we were saying it's like 17 months or something. It's faster to get a Galactic Legend in that time span than just getting Malgus himself through the Proving Grounds. I think that's gonna be the biggest indicator. If you're someone that's in that position where you got all these Sith Empire up and running, you already have Malgus, you're working on the Fury class interceptor, and you plan a couple months after the conquest wraps up, you'll get the Fury class interceptor. I think that's gonna be the perfect person to work on Leviathan over Jabba. But that aside, with all those niche conditions, I just think Jabba, he's a top contending PvP character. Like, there's not a lot of off-meta ways to be. Like, in 3v3, you have to throw Galactic Legend at him. 5v5, you might be able to make Dr. Aphra work out with her Omicrons turned on. Maybe you can eke out a Star Killer, potentially a little challenging of the Bauschleia Omicron. So it's not like this guy's a cakewalk. He's not like the Sith Eternal. He's a top contending defensive team. But more importantly, he's got that added factor where he's needed for all the important stuff Now, Rise of the Empire, great Dragon Raid top tier team that's going to get you the most points for your guild. And the more jobs you have in your guild, the more relic gates and other fancy rewards you guys are going to ultimately get. So for me, I feel like for most people out there, I think Jabba's the one to shoot for. Only downside is it's you got a couple of hoops to jump through. You got to get the guild event tokens, you got to get Jedi Knight loot, and then you got to get Jabba at the very end of it. So it's not like a walk around the park. Where a nice thing about like ship farms for like Executor Profundity, it feels a little bit more linear, less hoops to usually jump through for the most part. So I think it's going to really depend on where we're heading. But I think if you are someone that doesn't have Jabba, but you have Malgus and you're looking good on the Fury class Interceptor progress, yeah, that's probably going to be a little bit better. Usually ships are the things that get you a little bit more Grand Arena wins, for sure. Throwing it on defense, your opponents can't handle it. I just got Executor my free-to-play account, and people can't, and all of a sudden they can't clear my ship zone, and that can give you all the leeway you need to win Grand Arena. So it's a tough predicament to be in right now. People want to know what's the next big thing.
I think it's the biggest predicament we've ever had, because I would say if we're not getting a new S tier top of the meta ship, Jabba is far and away the most important thing that you guys should be farming. Like, not even close. It's like he's 10 million light years ahead of everything else. But the Leviathan is just slightly better than him. Like, the early game meta is you have to have a bunch of teams. The mid game meta is you have to have a bunch of ships. End game, you have to have a bunch of money. I think they just gave us the two highest value things at the exact same time. You know, relative in Swigo terms, we use years, not weeks or months. Right. And if it was anything else, I would say Jabba, but ships are just like, they're just so important, and most people don't like Profundity. I started farming Profundity before they even announced the requirements, and then the second they did, I started farming. I got Profundity completely free to play month 2 that it was out.
That's nice.
I won maybe 30 extra Grand Arenas that I wouldn't have been able to win just because I had an extra S tier ship, so I could place ships only on defense, beat people with 3-4 more million GP than me. That's 30 Grand Arena wins that I wouldn't have had without that ship, and that's how many tens of thousands of crystals that I got for free, basically, just because I farmed a ship early, and most people don't farm ships. That's where I'm coming from, is you're gonna win more Grand Arenas than you could possibly imagine, because you're gonna have something that people aren't gonna be prepared for. And that's mid game. If you're early game, obviously you have other stuff to worry about. If you're end game, you probably have 6 or 7 Galactic Legends anyway, so it's not really a big deal. But for that 5, 6, 7 million GP range where your ships are good and you're punching up 2-3 million GP and GAC, I think the Leviathan is going to be the secret sauce for you to keep winning.
Yeah, and I think one thing we're neglecting too, you could use Leviathan in the dark side aspect of and the mix aspects of the Rise of the Empire. So it's not like it's just going to be Grand Arena and that's it. You could also squeeze it in Rise of the Empire, and we're kind of at a point where it doesn't feel like we need another capital ship for the moment. It seems like Executor and Profundity generally are the ones you're using, and maybe Malevolence Negotiator for the mixed tier. But there might be a point where Leviathan can take on those really annoying ship missions. Like there's I think it's a special mission, like a second wave or something like that. So it feels nearly impossible. Maybe that's where the Leviathan comes in and gets you a couple extra resources. So I'm gonna throw in one more.
Well, what I'm thinking really quick is the problem that I'm facing now is you're punching up so much that now you can't just put Executor and trash ships on defense, because they can beat that even if they put their Executor on defense. So now you just need a little extra defensive sauce, just a little bit extra to keep them back. That's where it's going to come in, I think.
That can, I mean, listen, you're not going to convince me that getting a ship is a bad idea. You're going to get your money back one way or another, your time and resources, and you're going to enjoy extra wins. I'm going to throw a curveball in there. Jabba, Leviathan, the forefront. Jabba because of what's now. Leviathan's the future, but there's this kind of, there's this person lingering the back that's kind of been on people's minds as well. Something that we've kind of hated for a year, then all of a sudden CG gave us a nice warm plate of here, suck it. Now they don't suck anymore. Riva and the Inquisitors. Should maybe this be something that people put on their radar and start focusing on? If you're not using for Jabba or Leviathan, this is a galactic legend right here in and of itself. It beats all the galactic legends in the game. It's needed for Rise of the Empire. I don't know. I need wisdom. What do you have for me?
Oh, I got some quick wisdom for you, because I got to get out of here. Riva is like the biggest territory. It's like 10 territory war Omicrons conceptually. It's like, it's good, but if you don't have everyone doing it at the same time, it's worthless. Like one Phasma Omicron is not going to do anything for your guild, but 50 Phasma Omicrons is going to do great. One Embo Omicron, nothing. 50 of them, fantastic. If you farm the Grand Inquisitor and your guild isn't also farming the Grand Inquisitor,
It makes no sense.
Okay, you get
then,
one extra Riva shard. You get her, 1 day earlier in a 2-year grind, right? Like if you get your whole guild to farm Grand Inquisitor at the same time, yes, absolutely do that. If you can convince 50 people to farm the Inquisitors right now, you are going to dominate Territory Wars. You're going to dominate Grand Arena. You're going to be happy. But if you can't, it's completely worthless. It's completely worthless to get 1 extra Inquisitor shard.
You got to get everyone on board. That's the problem with this. If you're not getting everyone getting the Grand Inquisitor, this does not make sense. This is probably the biggest gate. Probably harder to get than Jabba and Leviathan, probably, right?
Oh, easily the hardest character that we've ever had to acquire in the game.
Well, there you go. So put your final ranks up. Leviathan first for you, Jabba 2, and then third sister, good luck, right?
Yes, I think it's obviously third sister is the last thing that you should be farming because she is a terrible, terrible character. And I hated the Kenobi show. I can't wait for season 2. The last episode was good, but that's because Vader was in it. But I don't want to see him pretending to be a farmer. Riva sucks.
Oh gosh. All right, there you go. There's your wise wisdom. He's got to go to, where are you going? To Thailand, China, Japan. Where are you going right now? I don't know. He's got big deals to make. He's
I'm going
too
to
good
Chicago,
for me.
Actually.
No way. I don't believe you.
I'm going to be in Chicago.
No,
yeah, I'm serious.
If you're serious, let me know.
I'm dead serious. I'm serious. I'll let you know.
All right,
I'm only there for like 2 hours, though.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no fun then. All right. Anyways, let us know your thoughts down below. Check out AP Gains. He's got to go. And always remember, my friends, that it's... Sing it, baby. Sing it. Sing it. Let it out. There you go. All right. Goodbye.